Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. I'm First Warren 5 Meteorologist Warren Sears. We have a hot pattern here for the rest of this week. I just stepped outside not too long ago, and let me tell you, wearing suits and this kind of weather don't mix well for me. So it's going to be tough for many days ahead. We have obviously high heat, but the humidity is an issue. That is allowing our feels-like temperatures to substantially climb on top of our actual air temperatures. So we're going to let you know what to expect through this week. We also have updates to Friday's forecast for World Cup festivities and, of course, Saturday, your 4th of July. All of that here in the next 10 minutes or so. We also are going to be talking about the slight budge in this heat later on. Okay, let's get to it. First, I just made this graphic not too long ago, actually, and it is kind of an explainer here of the way our weather pattern is set up. So when we get these heat domes, or little heat waves that build in, a large area of high pressure sets into the region. There's also a big ridge in our jet stream, you know, that highway of air that flows thousands and thousands of feet above us. Well, the ridge here helps the heat dome to build, and it just kind of sits. As long as the ridge and the jet stream are away from us, usually pretty quiet. High pressure also means sinking air, and so we get just hot, pretty quiet conditions. Now, when you get right close to the jet stream, that's actually where we see on the jet stream and right around the perimeter of the heat dome, there is a pattern of rain and storms that kind of just flow around the high pressure. So that's what we see with the setup like this. There's going to be some rain and storms across western Kansas, Oklahoma, well, the panhandle of Oklahoma, Nebraska, South Dakota, up into Minnesota and Wisconsin. They're on the northern side of this ridge, and so that's where they're going to see a little bit of a stormier setup. This is a little bit more typical, I'd say, later in the summer, but we're seeing one ridging right now. Now, what can happen is you see this big dip out to the west. They're actually seeing a trough in the jet stream, and that usually brings some cooler air in. I hope at some point here this ridge will break down, but it looks like it's going to take a little while. Many days here of this high heat. We have this extreme heat warning in place, and this is going to be from now until 9 p.m. on Friday. The reason being, every single afternoon feels like temperatures could be in the 100 to up to 110 range on the higher end. Probably a lot of 105 readings on the higher end for us. So as you get into the day today, you can see your actual air temperatures climb from the 80s to the lower 90s. Low 90s pretty much all afternoon and early evening. As long as the sun's up this evening, I think that will be at least at 90 degrees. Your feels like temperatures with the high humidity will allow us to be into that, 100 to 105 range. And the way that our feels like temperatures are, we had someone actually say, what do you mean it feels different than the actual areas? Well, when it's really humid, our bodies can't naturally cool us. There's an evaporation process that happens from your sweating that actually draws heat out of your body. And when it's really humid, that process slows way down. So you just can't release your heat as well if it's humid. So that's why it feels hotter to our bodies. And then that's where we can get into some issues. So high heat, sunshine, and some breezy conditions out there today. Not horrible, but noticeable. You'll have gusts up to maybe 20, 25 miles per hour. If you're going to the K this evening, it will be hot. 90 degrees or so at first pitch. The Rays are in town. They are used to weather like this. However, they have a covered facility. So toasty out there, 90 only turning to about 85 by the ninth inning. Intense heat's the name of the game. Feels like temps will be well above that. Even by the ninth inning, well after sunset, I still think your feels like temps will be another 10 degrees hotter, so probably in the 90s. That south wind, 10 to 20, gusting up to 25, maybe 30. So today, 92 turns to 103 for a feels like. 92 tomorrow, 93 on Thursday. Feels like 100 to 105 yet again. Let's talk about Friday and Saturday, though, because that's when we look into our bigger events. That's where we have our first warns in the forecast as well. Our heat is going to peak, actually, on these 2 days. So Friday and Saturday are our hottest days, and it still looks pretty muggy. Might not be quite as ridiculously muggy, but still, with 95, the humidity we have feels like temps up to 105 again. Columbia and Ghana play at Kansas City Stadium, but thankfully it's an 8:30 kick. The good thing about that is the sun will be setting. It won't be as ridiculously hot, but it'll still be very muggy and warm through the entire evening. So heads up, could have some impacted plans for Friday afternoon, evening, and then Saturday, the 4th of July. We're going to have a hot day. Heart of the afternoon and early evening is when I think some of our outdoor plans will really need to be watched, just because we should avoid, strenuous outdoor activities in this time frame. If you are going to be outside on Saturday, just know it looks sunny, and that sun is very strong this time of the year with your UV index of 9. So burn times in as little as 20 minutes. Hats, glasses, sunscreen, shade, all of that very important. Reapplication of sunscreen, very important. That's something I'm not great with, and I need to be better. So humidity-wise, I think that's really the big story here. We have very high to extreme conditions day after day. Thursday, Friday could have a little reduction. Friday and Saturday could have a small reduction, but I don't think so. Truly, I think it's just going to be very humid all the way, even into Sunday. Let's talk about precipitation chances, because what's going to happen is, though I showed you the way that ridge is set up, a lot of the rain and storms kind of stay out of our reach. Maybe something bubbles up Thursday night into Friday morning, but it'd be small scale. You can see most of the rain just out of reach. But Saturday night into Sunday, I'm still seeing some signs that this could break down and give us at least a few spotty showers and thunderstorms. It should be well after fireworks time frame, but Sunday, just know we got a 30% chance right now for some off and on rain and rumbles. But when it all comes down to it, by the end of the day on Sunday or through the 4th of July weekend and through the 4th, the heaviest of the rain just isn't, it's not here. All right, aside from that, that's pretty much a good overview of what we can expect. Here's your World Cup forecast for the actual match on Friday. That kickoff at 8:30. Again, that's helpful, and that's helpful because it's going to be super hot when the sun's up, 95. I don't quite know. There's a potential that some of this could get pushed back a little bit, but I think because it's a kickoff of 8:30, that is beneficial to getting this match in. But 88 at kickoff still could feel like 95. We'll have a south wind 10 to 20. That Celsius temp at 35. It's warm. Definitely warm out there. So that's a latest look at what you can expect here through the rest of your day today and the week ahead and the weekend ahead as well. I appreciate you joining me here for a quick weather forecast. Stick with us. We are going to be right back in just a few minutes. We've got your news headlines on the other side of the break. And I hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday. We'll have another weather update here around 11:45. See you soon.
Welcome in on this Tuesday, almost afternoon. I'm Janae Hancock here with Taylor Johnson. Hello there, Taylor.
Hey, Janae. Happy Monday to you.
Thank you. We could have left that piece out.
Sorry.
Of it, but yes, Tuesday for you, a Monday for me. The good news, Taylor, is we're almost to the middle of the week. We're almost to hump day.
To the hump day, then it's going to be Friday.
I know. You got to say it real
I'm going to keep it low till we get there. I'm going to elevate it
Friday. Every day it's going to go up. And we're one day closer to the holiday as well, 4th of July, which is crazy to think about.
I know.
Alrighty, so we do have your news headlines. We have a lot to jump into this morning, so I do want to start off with this breaking news story. The Supreme Court is ending its term with a trio of major rulings today. First, in a significant loss for President Donald Trump, the justices struck down his executive order and upheld birthright citizenship, with Chief Justice John Roberts writing that citizenship is the right to have rights. Second, the court is allowing states to ban transgender athletes from playing on girls' sports teams, a decision Trump quickly called a big win. And third, the court lifted a Watergate-era cap on how much political parties can spend coordinating with candidates, a move experts say could benefit Republicans heading into the midterms later on. So all three stories, very, very huge, again, dropping within maybe the last hour or two, and something that we will definitely continue to follow here at KCTV5, especially as reaction continues to pour in, Taylor.
All right. Well, here locally, could a new city ordinance have prevented a mass shooting in Kansas City? Mayor Quentin Lucas thinks so. 9 people were shot outside an unlicensed venue near 79th and Troost earlier this month, 2 hours after police had already responded to a noise complaint there. Under current law, a ticket was all they could issue. This morning, the mayor is at City Hall making the case for more power to act. That's where we find KCTV5's Maya Engel.
This morning, city leaders will be meeting here at City Hall to discuss a new ordinance that would allow the city to shut down unlicensed businesses faster. Now, this push comes after 9 people were shot at a unlicensed business near 79th and Troost earlier this month. And just 2 hours before that shooting happened, police were actually called to the scene for a noise complaint. But because of current law, all they could do was write a ticket. Now, we know this is not the first time something like this has happened in Kansas City. Back in February, 2 women were shot and killed inside of Club Status on Southwest Boulevard. And that club had received 18 service calls in just 2 years. Eventually, the club was shut down, but not until after those 2 women died. So this ordinance would really help close that gap and make sure a situation like that does not happen again. This will be discussed today at 10:30, and if it does get approved through the city committee, it will head to the full city council for a final vote.
Again, that was KCTV5's Maya Engel reporting. A council committee takes up a measure today to pursue legal control of the old Federal Reserve Bank building on Grand Boulevard that has been vacant since 2008. You can see that video here on your screen. The developer promised a hotel and an entertainment center and then missed deadline after deadline. The city now wants a court to force the building back to life.
If you overpaid your Jackson County property taxes, you're still going to be waiting for relief. County lawmakers held a packed public hearing on a plan to give homeowners tax credits, but left without taking a vote. County Executive Phil Lavoda wants to start those credits this year and run them through 2028, but schools, libraries, and cities are pushing back, warning the plan could cost them millions. The legislature could vote as soon as next week.
The new Royals Stadium is starting to take shape today, and it is bigger than just a ballpark. The Royals filed their preliminary master plan for a $3 billion Crown Center ballpark district, a 91-acre development split into 10 areas, with the new stadium set to open by the 2031 season. The plan also promises enough parking within a half mile to handle a sellout crowd, but the full district wouldn't be complete until 2041.
All right, the man suspected of terrorizing Kansas City drivers on I-70 and I-670 is dead. And now the Jackson County prosecutor is speaking out. Prosecutor Melissa Johnson offered condolences to the victims of Oscar Sanchez Munoz, the 22-year-old linked to a series of highway shootings on June 16th. His body was found last week buried under debris in a basement. Johnson says the case is being dismissed, but she wants victims and their families to know her office is not walking away.
Alrighty, so we just got that weather update from meteorologist Warren Sears. We'll get another one at the bottom of the hour. But if you didn't know, it is going to be hot this week. And when it gets this hot, it is dangerous for everyone, including your pets. KCTV5's Claire Decatur shares ways to keep your furry friends safe and healthy.
Sonny, sit. Madison Brown may have a dog named Sunny, but she's not a fan of the summer heat.
I actually kind of dread it because then I can't take my 2 dogs on as long of a walk.
If you're headed outside with your pet, vets say heat and humidity can turn dangerous fast.
They have sweat glands in their paw pads. They primarily cool by panting. And if the air outside is very warm and it's very humid, they're not going to evaporate very well when panting, and they're not going to cool effectively.
Dr. Goldston says certain dogs are at even higher risk, especially short-nosed squish-face breeds, and they should only be out for short stretches in extreme heat. And if the pavement is too hot for you, it's too hot for your pet's paws.
Especially with like the black roads, because the black absorbs the heat and it gets hot faster. So keeping them on like the grass, or if they're used to it, you can put booties on them to help protect their little paw pads.
Some clinical signs of heat stroke are excessive panting if they don't want to stand and collapse.
We do recommend cooling them off. You don't want to necessarily put them in ice, but put them in the tub, hose them off with some nice cool water to help kind of bring that temperature down. You can put some fans on them.
And if those at-home remedies don't work, be sure to take them into urgent care as soon as possible.
It can be a life-threatening condition.
Brown says her go-to in this heat, always keep water on hand.
Don't forget about your kitty friends too. Put out some cold water for those feral cats in your community. Keep an eye on them, making sure that they're not getting too hot either.
Claire Decatur, KCTV5 News.
So, Janae, do you have booties for Lola?
I do. She doesn't like them, though.
Lola need to get with the program.
Yeah,
okay?
I know. She doesn't have an option. I'm the mom.
Right, you better get her in check. All right, as we face the extreme heat, here's some ways that you can stay comfortable while keeping your energy bill as low as you can. The U.S. Department of Energy suggests starting with the simple things. So close blinds or install window coverings, replace your air conditioner filter, set your thermostat to a temperature you're comfortable with. Remember that raising it slightly can actually lower your bill, and avoid putting lamps or a TV near your thermostat. All right, that last one I didn't really know about.
Yeah, some very important tips. Definitely take note. Well, if you are baking in this heat, which we all pretty much are, there are options to cool off. The locations here on your screen are cooling centers open across the metro. These are safe, air-conditioned places to ride out the worst of the day. We do have a full list with the addresses as well as the hours in the KCTV5 News app so that you can find the closest spot in just a few taps.
All right, well, Kansas City makes World Cup history this Friday, hosting its first ever knockout match when Colombia takes on Ghana. The Colombian faithful are already here. An estimated 4,000 call Kansas City home, and thousands more are flying in. KCTV5's Gabby Luma is at Crown Center this morning as we prepare for another sea of yellow to take over the city this Friday.
Well, after a brief break from all of the World Cup madness, we are back on Friday for Kansas City's first ever knockout match for the round of 32. Ghana will be taking on Colombia, so it would be the Black Stars and Los Cafeteros. In both of those countries, they've got massive fan bases that will be here in KC already or will be flying in. Now, we have spoken with the vice president of the Colombian Cultural Association, Gustavo Restrepo. He actually tells us that 4,000 Colombians already live here in KC, and he knows people who are flying in. There will be thousands more. He estimates there will be a sea of yellow. About 80% of Kansas City Stadium will be yellow this Friday. But on the other hand, Ghana, don't underestimate them and their fan base. The coalition actually may be larger than you think, and they've got Kenyans, Cameroonians, and also Americans rooting for them. So we spoke with a local pastor here at the Sacred Heart Church, Joseph Asante, and he was telling us that he also has been kind of monitoring the coalition. He actually just got back from a match in Philadelphia. He said that the crowds were insane, and they've really got the entire continent of Africa behind them. And I am just so excited for this blend of cultures to really come back here in KC. It has just been so fun experiencing it, seeing it, everyone come together. It's truly amazing. First kick is at 8:30 on Friday.
All right. Before we move on to the next story, it's 11:11, Janae.
It is 11:11.
Make a wish, everybody.
Make a wish, and do not tell us what it is.
Please
Taylor
don't.
always does that.
Save it for yourself. Well, World Cup fans have been. Oh, I'm reading your story. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Trying to take my story. No, I was going to say, as far as Gabby, it has been very exciting with the World Cup being here in KC.
Yeah.
It has been flying by, though. It's crazy to think we are almost to the end of all of this.
After this, there's one more match that's being hosted in KC. That's the quarterfinal on July 11th.
We've been counting down, and now here we are. Alrighty, well, World Cup fans have been riding the Connect KC lines to get around the Metro this summer, and we are now, as I just touched on, halfway through the tournament. So is it working? KCTV5's Morgan Rydell checks in on what Lenexa and Overland Park, what are they seeing?
Bus stops like this have popped up all over the region, connecting visitors with destinations like Lenexa City Center here and Oak Park Mall. It's just about a 10-minute drive in between the two, but they're seeing very different results from these systems.
It's been pretty cool, and like every single day, it's not slow.
Maya Wallace works at the Soccereum at Oak Park Mall. She says daily, she gets to interact with people from all over the world.
Like there's like tons of groups coming in just asking what we have left, and it's been pretty busy. Yeah, definitely.
What they were looking for? Jerseys.
Especially Mexico jerseys and Argentina, like we're selling them before we even get to put them out. It's crazy.
They're restocking racks nearly all day long. But that's not necessarily the case at all the new Johnson County bus stop locations.
Haven't noticed anything crazy with the new bus system, really.
John Giagiari is the manager at Grand Street in the Lenexa City Center, a staple here for more than a decade.
It's really exciting, and Lenexa is a great spot to be.
He says they haven't seen any more people than usual on the daily, but he says at least it's not less than normal either. Though at least one day this whole tournament, they did get a share of the crowds when Pitch Lenexa held a watch party at the city center.
It was great. It brought out a bunch of people out here, and after they were done watching that game, they all came to the bar area and had fun and had a couple cocktails.
The second watch party for Pitch Lenexa was canceled, and many of the restaurants here tell me they were disappointed because they wanted that big day again. It was canceled due to weather, and the next watch party will be July 11th. Reporting in Lenexa, Morgan Rydell, KCTV5 News.
All right, so I was actually in Lawrence on Saturday, on the day of the Algeria and who they play? Austria. That match. And it was just so nice out there. I love those Rock Chalk Algeria t-shirts. And it was just amazing.
right there.
Yeah, it's amazing just how receptive Algeria has been to the love that they've been receiving here. And so Carolina, she told me this morning that she had posted a screenshot of like our team coverage boxes on that day. And she said it's gotten so many shares from people from Algeria.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, a box of our faces.
Yeah.
But they're just so appreciative, which is so nice.
The gratitude, we love that.
It's wonderful. So just the love story is really getting international attention, and this comes after the team base camped at Rock Chalk Park. So the embassy posted a thank you on X, the U.S. Embassy to Algeria, calling out everything from the warm reception to the gatherings that brought people together. And if you missed it, Algerian fans even brought this big thank you Lawrence sign into the stadium on Saturday night. So they were really feeling it. Also in their thank you note, they mentioned friendship bracelets, commemorative gifts, encouragement, and community gatherings. So Lawrence has hosted watch parties on Mass Street during Algeria matches, including Saturday night's 3-3 draw with Austria, leading them to the round of 32. The team now faces Switzerland Thursday night in Vancouver, and they're still base camp there. So hopefully we can keep them a little longer.
I love that. Just the thank you Lawrence sign by itself. I mean, just like you said, speaks to the gratitude and just how much fun they had in the area, how much they appreciate being in the area, the hospitality there as well.
Yeah.
It just speaks volumes, and they're welcome back anytime. I'm sure that's what Lawrence is saying today.
I'm actually sad about the Netherlands not making it any further because I really wanted them to stay through the quarterfinals.
Oh, they're
so
a good time.
so they could do something else.
Yeah, they are a party. They are invited back any time.
Oh my goodness.
I did see someone say they're like the long distance cousins at this point.
Oh,
like
I love that.
Like, bring them back.
And when you get with your
Have a little
cousins,
family reunion.
you know it's a good time.
Yeah, you know it's a good time. You're just partying the whole time and
Yes.
reminiscing. Yeah, so we enjoy all of the teams that and their fan bases that have been in the Metro this summer, and that will continue.
Excited to
be
see
here.
what Ghana does.
Yes.
The fans of Ghana.
And you know what, Taylor? I need to turn the camera around. I've seen like the parties that have been in the airport. So it's before they even step foot
Exactly.
outside of the airport. Like the party really gets started right there by baggage claim.
They got the energy ready.
Yes.
Because we saw that with Curacao.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I want to go where they're going.
I didn't know Curacao got down like that.
Oh,
but yes, they had the boom box. Not the boom
Yes.
box. That is such an old term.
Too
But
lit.
they had the speakers.
The speaker, the aux cord.
The aux cord. And they were just dancing and partying and just so much joy. That's what I've just appreciated about everything. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of joy this weekend as well, because it is a holiday weekend. And if you don't have plans yet for this 4th of July, you can join us right here at KCTV5 on KCTV5. We are broadcasting the annual Stars and Stripes Picnic. Our special coverage starts at 9 o'clock with the area's biggest fireworks show. And if you can't make it downtown, you don't want to, you can celebrate America's birthday from your couch with KCTV5, your home for the 4th of July fireworks. Okay, so Taylor, I want to touch on this before we take another break. What is like your go-to tradition, or maybe something that you miss as a child, as far as 4th of July is concerned?
Well, you know, I'm from Maryland, right? So we're eating crabs.
Yes.
Like we have just a long table. The newspaper is down.
Yeah. Okay. What does the prep look like to get to that point?
Well, we don't cook them.
Okay.
We just go pick them up.
Okay.
But they gotta have like Old Bay seasoning on them.
Taylor.
And so about almost a month ago, my brother graduated from high school, and so we went and had crabs after.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, this is what I've been missing,
Amazing.
when they're nice and warm.
Yeah.
And then you crack them open, and they're just so meaty and good.
I can see you. Do you wear a little bib?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I can see you with a little bib getting down, so you don't even care.
No, I wear a bib like if I eat lobster, but not crab. I'm just,
It is what it is.
We're in there.
Going for it.
yes.
Okay. No, that's a good tradition for where you are from. I will say for me, something that I miss was like waking up and smelling the food, because my dad would be outside like on the grill already getting things ready, because we always had family and friends come over, and my mom would be inside making the side dishes. So I would say in the desserts. So I would say that's something I definitely miss, to go back and be a child again.
I know.
But I do have to touch on this, Taylor, before we take a quick break. We have someone, looks like they're from Algeria. They have the Algerian flag here, and they said, we love you. We love you guys so much, and we appreciate you, one, tuning in and just enjoying everything that KC, the Metro, has to offer, Lawrence has to offer. So with that, we are going to take a quick break, and our coverage will continue. And we will actually be joined by Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau coming up. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us here on KCTV5 Plus. I'm Janae Hancock, and the time right now is 11:23. Right now, I am bringing back a segment. It has been some time. It's been a very busy summer already, especially with the World Cup being in town. Josh Planos is joining me now with the Better Business Bureau. Josh, thank you so much for joining me, and nice to see you again. How's it going?
It's going great. Nice to see you, Janae.
So glad to see you. I do want to jump into everything. I know that you all just released an investigative study last week regarding artificial intelligence and its growing role in customer service. And I know here personally, I've dealt with that maybe within the last week. And I know it can be very frustrating. So tell me a little bit more about the study and what you all found.
Well, you're not alone, Janae. I would say that just about all of your viewers have likely stumbled upon AI and its intersection with customer service. Of the nearly 20,000 business reviews mentioning AI to us since 2023, more than 90% express negative sentiment. And when 9 out of 10 reactions are negative, that's a signal that businesses can't ignore. So this study really came out of, we received nearly 100,000 complaints, many of which were concentrated on online retail and e-commerce and some of those tech-forward industries. But AI is not going away anytime soon. And unfortunately, I think a lot of folks are just yelling into their receiver, "Can I talk to a person?" In 2026. So that's really what the study tried to unpack.
And you know what? I'll just explain my experience. I was trying to get in contact with Amazon, but they kept connecting me, their customer service, they kept connecting me to their AI, their robot, and they said they couldn't connect me with an actual person. So that was very frustrating because I was looking for my package. So I know that a lot of people are currently dealing with that. Are there any scams that people need to be aware of as far as this is concerned, especially with artificial intelligence really taking over right now?
Yeah, Janae, as more and more people get comfortable talking with a machine for, any number of things, whether it's finding a package or correcting something, on your bank account statement, there's going to be bad actors that wedge their way into that market. So the study also found that AI-related losses are climbing year over year. We had reports of about 22,000 in 2023 and reports of about 34,000 in 2025. The median losses more than doubled in that time. So the financial stakes are growing alongside the adoption. Scammers will weaponize anything they can, right? So automation is currently what we are monitoring. There were nearly 782 reports for AI-related scam reports in 2023, nearly 3,000 in 2025. So the reports are growing considerably. The amount of money that's being lost is growing considerably, and it impacts every industry, right? This is not something that you can say, well, that's just, it's unfortunate that that's impacting the pharmaceutical industry, but that's, just kind of over there. This is something that is impacting everything. So if you get an unexpected automated phone call, even though this is standard for a lot of companies with outreach, you should really tread carefully with that communication and make sure you're doing what you can on the consumer side to verify that it is in fact real.
I can see how this can be easy to fall for, especially because we have gotten so used to speaking with these robots, speaking to AI, that you may see like, okay, I'm actually talking to customer service and you're not in the long term. So what are some other red flags that people need to be on the lookout for? You mentioned those phone calls, but what else should they be watching out for?
Yeah, I would say, anytime, you're getting a communication that you didn't anticipate, that is always going to put you on the defensive. It's always going to make you think and make decisions that you otherwise wouldn't. So, Janae, as we have talked about so regularly, I make people leave voicemail. And I know that that can be read as antisocial, but truly there's no way of knowing if your caller ID is accurate these days. You can, invest in aggressive filters and robo technology. It's very easy for a scammer to spoof the caller ID to say whatever it wants. So, and think about all the trust that is just built into seeing, let's say it said the police department, right? You're going to approach that conversation very different if you are, believing in real time that that call is legitimate. So that's something to consider. Don't be afraid to just hang up and restart the conversation if it's not going the way you want it to. Typically, that's at least a decent check into whether or not that communication, that phone number, was real to begin with. And anytime someone is putting you under pressure to make a decision in the moment, that has been a hallmark of scams long before artificial intelligence was even a topic, right? We are talking hundreds and hundreds of years. People have been put under pressure to make a decision in the moment. And Janae, as we know, most decisions in life, you do not need to make the decision right there in the moment. So if someone's putting you under the gun like that, there's probably a reason.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like people probably are saying we sound like a broken record with all of these tips and the red flags, but they are so, so very true. I just heard a story earlier today where it's like, that was a red flag, that was a red flag, and you just need these reminders constantly. So what else did you all find within your study regarding artificial intelligence that our viewers need to know?
Well, I think on the business side, my hope is that this isn't read as just anti-technology. This is really a pro-customer study. Our message to businesses, many of which, right, are integrating AI and just kind of asking artificial intelligence to fix a broken process, is to integrate AI thoughtfully. You need to actually have a conversation with your team or your vendor about how customers really interact with the new tool. You can't just say, I need the tool to answer all of my problems. It's not going to fit with what your current system does, and it's going to make the customer unhappy. It's important to always offer a way to escalate that conversation to a human being if a reasonable amount of time has passed, or if the conversation is so nuanced that the machine cannot follow. If there is no ability to escalate that situation, you're going to have somebody that is far more frustrated, who's probably going to come to your front door and have that conversation in a tone that they otherwise wouldn't. We do encourage businesses to listen to this feedback. We are not suggesting that AI should not be a part of customer service. We're simply asking that you build on what's working and ensure that those systems are connected to one another, because the businesses don't want this negative experience to be reported to us either. But one thing you can do is not take the shortcut and just say, I need you to answer all my problems. Think through what your current process is and where AI can actually supplement it.
Some great tips there, and AI is really just taking over the world that we live in today. I do want to touch on this really fast, kind of putting you on the spot, Josh, before I let you go. But with the holiday coming up this weekend, are there any specific 4th of July scams that our viewers need to be aware of as well?
Great question. I'm glad you asked it. The 250 anniversary is sparking a lot of scam-related activity on Scam Tracker. So people are buying counterfeit merchandise, or merchandise that never gets to their front door, or different fireworks over the internet that cannot be delivered in a timely manner and are not actually connected to a real website. When you purchase things over the 4th of July, it's very common for you to be purchasing from pop-up shops that really, maybe you have never experienced a transaction with that company before. The extension of that is people are having those interactions online, and they feel like the same is true. I've never interacted with you, but I'm sure this transaction is going to go well and the website looks legitimate. If they do not have a BBB business profile, you really have no way of knowing if that's a real business. So I would encourage you to lean on our site. I'd encourage you to make it so you know to the best of your ability that you're not the first person to ever transact with that company, whether they're selling you an America 250 t-shirt or some sparklers. You want to make sure that they have actually transacted before, and the way to do that is to find a third party. And I know that sounds like just another thing to need to do when you're just trying to have a pretty simple checkout. But I can promise you, you don't want that money to be sent to the hands of a scammer who has no interest in actually providing that service and might actually create more problems and more fireworks for you down the road.
You do not want to be scammed anytime, but especially during the holidays. Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau, I want to thank you so much. And also, one final tip, something we always say, is that if you don't report it, you are only protecting the scammers. So if you have any issues, you definitely want to make sure you are filing that complaint and also issuing a report. Thank you so much for joining me, Josh, and have a wonderful holiday weekend. We'll talk again in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. Thanks, Janae.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have What's Trending. Stay with us.
Thank you for staying with us here on KCTV 5 Plus. It is time for What's Trending. We've pulled in our friend Zach Summers. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's always a good time when you're in here with us.
We'll see.
He said, I don't know what you guys are going to bring my way.
Yes. So before,
Because they never tell me what we're going to talk about. So
that's the fun of it.
So we'll see.
So the first story is kind of on a sad note. So we're going to get that one started first, and then we'll move on to some highlights. So the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office has released a cause of death for actress Davy Chase, best known as the voice of Lilo in Disney's Lilo and Stitch. She died June 16th in Los Angeles at the age of 35, and the coroner says the cause was AIDS with a secondary cause listed as chronic polysubstance use. Her father told the New York Times she'd been homeless and had struggled with drugs since she was 13. Chase also appeared in The Ring, Donnie Darko, and HBO's Big Love. So very sad news to hear, especially just the fact that she's been struggling for so long. I mean, that's like 20 years.
yeah, addiction is real.
Very much so.
And you know, obviously, when you hear AIDS, you think of, or at least I know I do, I think of the 80s when all of that was happening and so many people were dying because of the disease. And, you know, we've come such a long way with medicines, like where it's not a death sentence. So it's just so sad to know that she was in a place where she was unable to get help, not only related to the drugs, but the medicine that could have potentially saved her life.
Yeah.
And was so young, too. 35 years old.
And her father sharing that she's been struggling since she was 13 with substance use. Like, that's so young. You know, the child star situation, it can go one way or the other in a lot of these instances. So just sending our condolences to her family and all of those who knew her, and thankful to her for Lilo, because iconic Disney film.
Yeah, that's a legacy to leave behind. And, you know, very thoughtful of her dad to even share that news. You know, I think there's still a lot of stigma tied to that disease, and some people would say, why do we need to know this? But you know, it's brave of him to share that personal bit about her life. But, you know, maybe in a way it might serve a purpose greater than, you know, just the loss of his daughter,
or help someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, again, sending our best to her family and her loved ones during this time. Also to Clive Davis. I know the funeral was just yesterday, and a lot of celebrities turned out for that. So continuing to send our best to them. Alrighty, guys. So I have the story that is it's on a positive note. Did you guys watch the BET Awards this past Sunday?
No,
I didn't.
But
I've seen clips. I've read about it on
clips
threads.
Are everywhere.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's jump into it. I believe this is a graphic. So we'll start off with this. So People recaps the 2026 BET Awards hosted by Drewski. We'll touch on that. With big tribute moments and big names all night. This is one of the huge moments from that night. So Tiana Taylor won Icon of the Year, presented by the one, the only Janet Jackson, and Lauryn Hill also received the Living Legend Icon Award with a massive tribute performance featuring a who's of artists, plus appearances from Hill's kids, and people also note a tribute to the late D'Angelo, introduced by his children and backed by his band, The Vanguard. Alrighty, so
can we start with Lauryn Hill?
I want to actually start with Drewski.
And I say that because that was a positive thing to talk about before we talk about everybody else.
Hold on, because I feel like Drewski can be a little positive.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. So I do just want to give him kudos. Congratulations. He was the youngest host.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's somewhere in his 20s.
Okay.
Maybe like 25, 26. He's somewhere in there.
He's young.
But what I will say is just to be the youngest to ever host the BET Awards is huge. So I do want to give him kudos for that.
Go Drewski.
He's accomplished a lot within the last few years. He kind of came out of nowhere, I feel.
The internet.
Yes. So I will give him that. As far as his hosting, I will let you touch on, Taylor.
I didn't see any of it. Did you?
I didn't either, but some of the criticism or feedback, if you will, you know, there are people who do that kind of thing for a living. They've been trained. They've been taught. They know how to
work the crowd.
They know how to host. Keke Palmer at one point. I did see that clip.
Yeah.
You know, she
Which
was
I
so
love,
effortless
yeah.
in introducing Cardi and sort of stealing the show away from Drewski in the clip that I saw. But it's like I didn't see it. I didn't see what he did. But some of the feedback I've seen online was that he was good, but he's a little green, if you will. Which I mean, this is arguably. I mean, he does have a good following online, you know, and his clips have taken off recently in some of the skits he's done. So, was he prepared? Was he not prepared? I don't know. He got the job.
Yeah.
So
He probably got a good coin off of it.
Right.
Is he a does he do stand up at all?
He doesn't do stand-up.
He does like skits.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
at least that's what I've seen of his work.
Been
I
very
don't follow
controversial,
him.
A lot of them, but I just looked it up.
Yeah.
He is 31 years old.
Oh,
so I was
okay.
completely off.
Because he redid the I saw that he redid the little megachurch one that caused some controversy where he was like swinging in the air.
Yeah.
Right, and
I
he's
saw he
done
did that
the
again.
Erica Kirk impersonation.
Yeah,
and,
he's
like,
done a few. So yeah, I watched it, and
You watched the whole show?
Not the whole show.
I would have if I didn't have to work the next morning.
I was in and out just because.
Do you all
some of
have
the-
cable? Because I heard it wasn't on Paramount Plus.
I have a.
Oh.
I almost said KCTV5. I have YouTube TV.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to watch it, but I did hear like people were struggling. I saw that on Twitter, like to watch it. I was in and out because I didn't know everyone that was hitting the stage. Like some people were coming on. I'm like, who is this? I just
Yeah.
felt so out of touch with everything. The Lauryn Hill tribute.
You're getting old.
It was so good.
The Lauryn Hill tribute was amazing in my
Yeah.
eyes. What do you guys think? I know you saw the clips.
I watched the whole thing
Okay.
up until
And she showed up.
I watched
She
every
showed up on time.
I saw
think.
a
And she
post.
performed.
Yeah.
A post said that all the BET people had to spend the night at her house the night before to make sure
That's
she
actually where it
got
was.
there. But I saw when everyone was singing for her, so I didn't see. I saw up till then. I think Queen Latifah was last, and it was beautiful. Just how they touched on like the Sister Act 2, which is iconic in the Black community. Her kids taking a part in it, and then I mean having Queen Latifah honor you.
Yeah.
And the thing about Lauryn Hill is that she's just had like that one studio album and has been able to carry it for what 30 years or so.
Generations.
Yeah.
That's my girl. I had that on
It was
CD
amazing.
and would listen to it all the time.
Well,
so.
and the artists who played a part in that, all the Black female artists who were
Nas
part of
was in there
that.
too.
Yeah, Nas was
Like
there.
it's like
SZA?
you know that in a way Lauryn Hill in some way played a role in how they pursued their own artistry.
Right.
You know, so for them to honor her in a way that they did, like that was really special. And you're right, to have like her child also take part in that. That's
Yeah.
got to be such a proud
was
moment as a
beautiful.
parent
Yeah.
to have like your kid up there singing one of your songs as a tribute. Like that's great.
emotional moment.
Now, what
So
I
good.
cannot necessarily get behind, and I
Okay.
think because we throw out words, big words too often.
I think I know where we're going.
What?
Well, Tiana Taylor is
Okay,
still
that's
very in her like prime. She's young, like icon of the year. I just.
No.
And that doesn't take away her talent by any
No,
means,
I
but
love
it's like
her.
icon of the year. Icon is a big word.
Yeah.
And
to
Tiana-
have this icon come out and
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Someone who has
don't-
put in the work.
The icon, okay?
Right.
And Tiana's been around for a long time, as far as like me watching her on Super Sweet 16.
Yes.
And I'm younger than her. So, you know, she's been putting in the work, but I feel like she's just now getting to the point, you know, where she, I wouldn't say like reaching a peak, but she's getting up there.
Oh yeah, she's definitely had some success this
Yeah,
past
with the
award
Academy
season.
Awards and
Exactly,
everything.
Exactly.
So yeah, I wouldn't give it to her just yet.
Yeah.
Not to say that she's not in the running, but I mean she got it now. So
It just frustrates me a little bit just because you start to think about the people who have not received such an honor.
Yeah.
And not saying this person needs it or anything like that, but I saw an interview where Bow Wow was talking on the red carpet and he said, you know, hopefully they consider me one year. And I'm like,
and they called him Mr. 106 in Park.
there's just no way he hasn't
Like, come on.
received this.
Yeah.
yeah, and
And she
you
did
know
it
you
first.
want to like walk that line carefully because you don't want to be like
Yeah.
pitting people
Yeah.
up against each other because I mean they have found success in their respective areas, but it does make you wonder how they go about picking these people
Right.
year after year. What's the qualifications like? and what's the thought process behind the people they end up choosing.
Well, I've noticed that they've changed the name of the award, because it used to be Lifetime Achievement, but like with Lauryn Hill, I think it was now the Living Legend Award or something that's new. So maybe they want to take the stigma off the Lifetime Achievement, like making you think it has to be like the Charlie Wilson, you know, New Edition.
But I like Living Legend. That is great, though. I mean, because in a way, she is a legend in her own right. Well, then maybe change Icon of the Year to like
something else.
Figure it out.
You know,
go back
doing
to the
thing.
board.
You know, I don't know. You like
they did it.
You making us proud. The making us proud award. You know,
and you know what? We'll end off with Taylor Swift, Tiana Taylor, giving her flowers because she has done a lot.
Yes.
And just everything that she's been behind as far as producing, being the creative director. I do just want to give her flowers for that. And again, Janet Jackson, her coming out was amazing.
The icon that she.
Yes. Love me some so I do want to move on. And Taylor, I believe this is your story.
Oh yes.
Taylor talking about Taylor.
Taylor talking about Taylor Swift, even though I like to talk about myself. So New York City is buzzing this morning, and it might have everything to do with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So crews were spotted unloading trucks at Madison Square Garden yesterday with equipment labeled Garden Party, fueling rumors that the power couple is getting married there on July 3rd, which is just in a few days. The arena has nothing else on the schedule through July 6th, and permits appear to back up the speculation. And we, Zach, Janae and I have been talking about this for a little while, and I just cannot get behind the thought that they would have any sort of wedding festivity at an arena.
I agree. When I first heard this story like a week or so ago, I thought, and it was just rumors.
Yeah.
I was like, why would they choose Madison Square Garden? Why would they choose this big arena?
Yeah.
And but then when you think about it, I mean, that's the ultimate privacy. You don't have to worry about helicopters in the air. You don't have to worry about paparazzi on the ground. Like, you're in this enclosed space. She could build whatever. She's got the money to build whatever she would want to build.
Yeah.
If she is building something. But at the same time, it's like,
it's the biggest city in the United States.
and it's a holiday weekend.
It's in the middle of Manhattan.
Like,
What an inconvenience.
it's the 4th of July. Like, come on. Y'all going to block off all these streets.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like and for someone who's, you know, it seems like values her privacy, what little she can get of it, this just almost feels like a spectacle, even though we're not necessarily seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
Like this, or, you know, you could make the counter argument, is this a distraction? Are they doing all of this to try to steer the media, you know, the looky-loos to this area?
Which is still a spectacle.
It is still a spectacle, but maybe it allows them to do what they actually want to do in private. And who knows? Maybe they're already married.
Exactly. I have been. Let me flip it around.
Janae
I have
feels
been
vindicated every time
this.
she hears that.
And if it comes out later, I just want you all to know. Let's put it on the record that I've been saying this from the beginning.
You heard
They're
it here
already
first.
married, and this is the party. This weekend is their party.
And you know what? If that's the case, so be it.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, it is their marriage. It's their life. They get to decide the terms of how they want to do things.
And that's cool.
And the public, we just have to wait until we find out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should keep digging. Honestly, I know that a lot of people are
don't even be
into
trying
it.
to dig.
Yeah, let's just wait. I'm just gonna wait for the Instagram posts because I know they'll post it in their own time.
Yeah.
And
because at this point we're just reporting rumors.
Yeah,
and
we're in their business.
You ever watch Proud Family? And Penny Proud was singing a song, and it was like,
Stop spreading
those rumors around. Stop spreading the lies.
Yes, Taylor, we are here. We see each other.
But, you know, I will say the mayor of New York City sort of gave it away in a soundbite where he basically alluded to Taylor Swift's wedding. He said something along the lines of Taylor Swift's wedding the weekend of 4th of July.
Great.
Oh,
like,
Lord.
so, I mean, he may have given it away.
You're doing great.
In that soundbite.
All right, Mom Donnie.
Right.
Literally.
Great
or maybe
job.
I just misinterpreted. I don't want to put the blame on him, but like something is happening, but it could be
anything.
It could be anything. Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
Right. Or maybe we won't.
Or maybe eventually.
Because there's rumors that she's jamming the cell signal too in the area that weekend, so people won't be able to like send videos and pictures.
People be
and
coming
things
up
like
with
that.
anything.
Just anything.
But like you said, Zach, I mean, traffic, it's a holiday weekend.
It's
It
New
is a holiday
York.
weekend.
It is going to be crazy.
Well, and you know, like obviously they can do what they want, and
Yeah.
obviously their closest friends and family are gonna be there. But it's like, y'all really picked the 4th of July weekend.
And I could have sworn
Like-
Macy's did like a big old 4th of July
Yeah, they
fireworks
have
up there.
They do in New York City. Yeah. So I mean, maybe I guess you could maybe argue, well, that adds to, like, maybe people will be distracted with other things, so they won't be so focused on her and him. But I know.
I'm as big as Taylor Swift's fan base is, and as invested as they are.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
So what do you guys think about people saying, like, we still haven't received the invitation of, who said that? The tight end.
Oh, Kittle.
George Kittle.
Yeah, but
he just said that last week.
He said that, but do you
Yeah.
really believe that? I mean,
That's
come on.
why
I
I'm
think
like-
anybody who is going to Taylor and Travis's wedding, they already know. They've also probably signed NDAs.
I was gonna say that,
And
yeah.
they cannot say anything about anything. So I wouldn't believe really any of their friends right now
They're just
about
playing
whether they
around.
received anything, because they're not going to tell you
Right.
either way. Like, so
Yeah.
it's like, you can ask.
Straight
No harm in
playing in our
asking, but you're not going to
faces.
get the right answer.
But they don't have to tell you.
Exactly.
Oh well.
We'll just have to wait and see. Alrighty, well, one thing we do know is it is going to be a party whenever they decide to have their wedding, have their reception, whatever it might be. We'll report it to you.
All right.
That'll do it for what is trending. Zach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
Yes, that was a
having
good
me.
time.
Always a blast. See, and you like the topics today.
I mean, they were bad. I mean, I wish I would have watched the BET Awards, so I could
Yeah.
have
But you've
had
seen the clips.
a more informed
You've seen the
opinion.
I didn't. Well, like I said, I didn't really watch it much either, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one final thing I will say is hopefully Kiki is hosting next year. I
Well, and I
do
think she will.
amazing.
Like that, if even that little clip I saw
Yeah.
wasn't enough to like, and she's just so personable.
She
She's
is.
great.
She's naturally funny.
Yes, and like she knows how to work the crowd.
Yeah.
Like you can throw anything at her, and she's not thrown off. Like the woman is talented, and you know what? She has worked hard for what she has right now, and
Yeah.
just give it to Kiki.
Give it to
Kiki.
Kiki.
We rooting for you, girl.
All righty. Well, that'll do it. Here's your Hollywood Minute.
We didn't took over Warren's time.
Don't tell Mom.
Red finds fatherhood is his toughest challenge yet in the Angry Birds Movie 3. The animated threequel flies into theaters December 23rd.
Getting a business off the ground takes more than a good product.
Milton, you keep chasing perfection when maybe you should be chasing magic. This batch is
Almost perfect.
Finn Wittrock and Alexandra Daddario star in Hershey, about the couple whose chocolate empire changed the world. The drama is due in theaters November 25th.
Thy soul is cursed. Thy kin are cursed.
Nosferatu director Robert Eggers returns with Werewolf, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson in a supernatural story set in medieval Britain. The film opens December 25th under a nearly full moon. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.